Good morning, my friends. My name is Dr. Harold Bennett. I'm well into my 70s now, and I've spent over 4 decades practicing medicine. Over the years, I've had the privilege of caring for thousands of older adults, people from all walks of life, each with their own story, their own challenges, and their own routines. Through all those years, one simple truth has become crystal clear to me. Our health is not just shaped by the medicines we take or the doctors we visit. It's built or broken by the small, quiet choices we make each and every day. You see, good health in later life isn't just about avoiding disease. It's about having the energy to enjoy your day, the clarity to think clearly, and the strength to move with confidence. And those things, more often than not, start in the morning. Unfortunately, I've watched far too many people, intelligent, caring people, make a few seemingly innocent mistakes in their morning routines that slowly chip away at their well-being. This morning, I'd like to gently walk you through 4 of the most common morning habits that can quietly damage your health over time. These aren't dramatic, dangerous stunts. They're simple things most people have done for years without thinking twice. But the truth is, some of these habits can lead to fatigue, dizziness, poor digestion, and even dangerous falls. And worst of all, no one ever told them these habits might be part of the problem. So let's take a closer look together, because once you understand what's happening and why, you can make small, thoughtful changes that may just help you feel better, move safer, and live longer. Let's begin. 1. Not drinking water first thing in the morning. I once had a patient named Mr. Thompson, 82 years old, sharp-minded, kind gentleman. He came to see me because every morning, without fail, he felt tired and a bit dizzy. We ran all the usual tests, heart, blood sugar, even brain scans. Everything came back normal. On paper, he looked fine, but clearly something was off. So one day, I asked him a simple question. "Tell me, do you drink any water when you wake up?" He smiled and said, "No, doctor, I just have my tea, then maybe some toast later." And that, my friends, was the missing piece. Most people don't realize this, but after 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body wakes up in a state of mild dehydration. Your blood is thicker, your cells are craving fluid, and your heart has to work harder to get circulation going. Your brain, especially, needs water to clear away the waste that builds up overnight. And the tricky part, as we get older, we don't always feel thirsty even when we should. It's one of the reasons why many seniors wake up feeling foggy, shaky, or unusually tired. And it's not age, it's hydration. My advice? Keep a glass of water by your bedside. Drink it as soon as you wake up, before the coffee, before the news, even before your medications. This one small act can help rehydrate your cells, jumpstart your circulation, and set the tone for a steadier, stronger day. It may not seem like much, but over time, that morning glass of water can make a world of difference. 2. Taking medications on an empty stomach. This is one I see far more often than I'd like. A lovely woman named Margaret, 77 years old, came to see me one day. She was feeling lightheaded every morning, sometimes even nauseous. One morning she nearly fainted while getting dressed. Her daughter was so worried they rushed her to my clinic. We checked her blood pressure, her medications, her blood work. Everything looked more or less within range, but something still wasn't sitting right. So I asked her, "Margaret, when do you take your medications?" She answered, "Oh, I take them as soon as I wake up. I keep them right next to the bed. I like to get it out of the way." Now, I understand why so many people do this. It's part habit, part convenience, and sometimes it's just fear of forgetting later on. But here's the issue. As we get older, our bodies become far more sensitive. Digestion slows, the stomach lining gets thinner, and our ability to tolerate certain medications, especially on an empty stomach, diminishes greatly. Some medications, particularly those for blood pressure, heart rhythm, or chronic pain, can drop your blood pressure too quickly if there's no food in your stomach to buffer them. Others can irritate your digestive tract, triggering nausea, dizziness, or abdominal discomfort. And for seniors, that morning wave of dizziness isn't just unpleasant, it's dangerous. It can cause a fall. And as any geriatric doctor will tell you, one fall can change everything. A broken hip, a concussion, a long hospital stay. It can rob you of independence in the blink of an eye. But here's the good news. The fix is usually simple. Even something as small as half a banana, a slice of toast, or a boiled egg can give your stomach just enough support to handle your medications more safely. Of course, always follow your doctor's instructions. Some medications do need to be taken on an empty stomach, but unless you've been told otherwise, taking your pills with a bit of food could be the safest way to start your day. I always tell my patients your morning routine should build you up, not knock you down. So if your medications are leaving you feeling worse, not better, it might not be the drug, it might just be the timing. 3. Getting out of bed too quickly. Now, after you've had that glass of water and maybe a small bite with your medication, there's something else I want you to be mindful of. How you get out of bed. This one may surprise you. It's so simple, so instinctive that most people don't give it a second thought, but I've seen the consequences too many times. Let me tell you about Gerald. He was a strong, proud man in his early 80s, a retired carpenter who still liked to fix things around the house. Every morning, just like he had for decades, Gerald would throw off the covers and swing his legs out of bed in one swift motion. It made him feel like he still had that same spark of youth. And to be honest, I admired that spirit. But one morning, things didn't go as planned. He stood up too quickly, the room spun, and before he could grab hold of anything, he collapsed to the floor. He fractured his hip. And that one fall led to surgery, a long recovery, and a difficult emotional road back. When I visited him in rehab, I sat by his bed and explained what had happened. Not in medical jargon, but simply, gently. Gerald, your heart is still strong, but it takes just a few extra seconds now to adjust your blood pressure when you move from lying down to standing. You see, as we age, our body's reflexes slow, especially the ones that regulate blood flow. When you go from horizontal to vertical too quickly, your blood may not reach your brain fast enough. The result? A sudden drop in blood pressure, dizziness, blurred vision, and in many cases, a fall. And this isn't rare. It happens far more often than people realize. In fact, many of the emergency room visits I've seen over the years could have been prevented with just a little more patience at the start of the day. So here's what I tell my patients, and now I'm telling you. When you wake up, don't rush. Take a few deep breaths, wiggle your toes, stretch your fingers, let your body wake up from the inside out. Then sit up slowly. Let your legs hang over the side of the bed for a moment. Feel your balance, and when you're ready, then stand. It may only take 30 to 60 seconds, but those seconds are powerful. They protect your independence. They give you a better shot at starting the day with confidence. Not fear, not bruises, not regret. You've already taken the water. You've nourished your stomach before your pills. Now take your time, because how you begin the day, how you rise, can shape the rest of your day. And I want yours to begin with strength, not struggle. 4. Starting the day with sugar and carbs. Now, the last habit I want to talk to you about may hit a little closer to home, what you choose to eat for breakfast. I know this one touches a soft spot for many people because breakfast is often more than just food. It's comfort, it's familiarity, it's routine. And sometimes it's the one part of the day that still feels predictable. But here's the thing, as we grow older, our bodies don't process sugar the way they used to. Our metabolism slows down, our insulin response isn't as quick, and when we start the morning with a sweet muffin, a bowl of sugary cereal, a couple slices of white toast with jam, or even a tall glass of juice, we may be setting ourselves up for a roller coaster we didn't mean to ride. I remember a patient named Helen, 74, gentle and full of laughter. She told me she always started her morning with orange juice and a warm cinnamon roll. "It gives me a little boost," she said. But by 10:30 a.m. she was exhausted, foggy, irritable. She thought it was just part of getting older, but really it was her breakfast. You see, those high-sugar, low-protein meals spike your blood sugar quickly, and then just as quickly it crashes. And with that crash comes fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, and sometimes even feelings of anxiety or sadness. Over time, it can contribute to insulin resistance, inflammation, and a greater risk of chronic conditions like heart disease or cognitive decline. So what should breakfast look like? It doesn't have to be fancy or restrictive, just balanced. Think protein like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a spoonful of nut butter. Add in some fiber like oatmeal, berries, or a slice of whole grain toast. A little healthy fat, avocado maybe, and keep the sugar natural and minimal. Not because I'm trying to take away the joy from your morning, but because I want to help you keep that energy steady and your mind clear. Breakfast isn't just the most important meal of the day, it's the foundation you're laying for your brain, your body, and your spirit. Let's build it with care. So now that we've gently walked through these 4 seemingly small but surprisingly powerful habits, not drinking water in the morning, taking medications on an empty stomach, getting out of bed too fast, and starting the day with sugar-heavy foods, I want to leave you with a thought that may be even more important than the advice itself. You don't need to become a health guru. You don't need to suddenly overhaul your entire routine, join a boot camp, or throw out everything in your kitchen. You don't even need to get it perfect. Health, especially in the later chapters of life, isn't about perfection. It's about attention. It's about listening to your body gently, kindly, and then responding with care. You see, these morning habits we've talked about today, they may seem small, but they are not insignificant. They're the quiet rhythms that shape your day before the world ever really starts spinning. And in my many years as a physician, I've learned this. It's the small, consistent choices, the ones made in silence, in solitude, when no one else is watching, that often determine how well we age, because these aren't just routines, they're messages. Every time you drink water before your coffee, you're telling your body, you matter. Every time you eat a small bite before your pills, you're saying, I want to protect you. When you sit for 30 seconds before you stand, you whisper, let's do this together, safely. And when you choose a nourishing breakfast over a sugar rush, you declare, I deserve steady energy, I deserve clarity, I deserve to feel like myself. And my friend, I want you to know, you do. You do deserve all of that. Not just to avoid illness or stay out of the hospital, but to feel good in your skin, to move through your morning with confidence, to greet the day with a body that supports you and a mind that's clear enough to savor the small joys still waiting for you. I've seen these changes work miracles, not because they're dramatic, but because they're consistent. The patients who made them didn't just feel a little better, they smiled more. They had fewer dizzy spells. They needed fewer naps. Their minds were sharper, their moods more balanced. They started taking walks again. Some started gardening. One gentleman I remember, he began writing poetry again, not because of a pill, but because his mornings finally gave him the energy to be himself again. So tomorrow morning, and every morning after that, pause, breathe, let the sunlight touch your face before the day rushes in. Sip your water slowly, take care with your medications, stand with intention, and feed yourself with kindness, not just calories, because the way you begin your day becomes the way you live it. And in this season of life, when your time is more precious, your energy more sacred, you deserve mornings that protect you, not punish you. Mornings that give back more than they take, mornings that whisper, you're still here, you still matter. Let's make this day count. Thank you truly for sharing these few moments with me. If something I've said today resonates with you or brings someone special to mind, please pass it along. Because the truth is, these gentle reminders can travel further than we ever imagine. They can soften lives. They can prevent suffering. They can, quite literally, save someone from a fall, a hospitalization, or from simply giving up on feeling good again. You are not too old, it is not too late, and tomorrow morning is waiting for you with open arms. Let's meet it with care.